With the unexpected surprise of Season 4 premiere of Young Justice, I felt it was time to recap Season 3. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys a recap video on part 2 of Season 3. I say part 2 because I did a recap of part 1 back in Season 3. And if you guys want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But now, having said that, first off, Greg Wiseman, man, did he surprise the heck out of us? Because here I was already planning to make this video thinking that episode 1 would be this upcoming Thursday and stuff, but nope, surprise, surprise. He gave us the first 2 episodes this past weekend. But now, having said all that, let's go ahead and get into the recap video. So, part 2 starts off in the fact that throughout the entire season, the Light and the Justice League are facing each other through a media battle to get public's opinion on their side. And for the most part, the Light continues to win and get public's opinion on their side, while the Justice League continues to get discredited and stuff and get a more tighter leash on them than what they already have. It gets to so much so to the point that eventually Beast Boy gets motivated into forming his own team, a team that is the actual title of Season 3, The Outsiders. The reason he is motivated by this is because at first, the goody goggles that Gretchen Good, aka Granny Goodness, had deployed, true purpose of exposure was to expose to the public and how it traces metahumans and gets metahumans to be captured due to metahuman trafficking, which eventually, after finding out, Star Labs makes a metahuman youth health center for those rescue traffickers, and they are there to be counsel and help better understand and better control their powers. And after which, we also learn that Brion, Halo, Terra, Forager, and Beast Boy at first rejoined the team, but as I said, Beast Boy eventually left the team because he was motivated by the good deeds he was doing, not because he was a member of the Justice League or anything, only just because he was right there, then and there, to help save people, and decided he would use that to start making a public image of a team to show a counteraction to Lex Luthor and the Light, who are discrediting the Justice League. And it does work for the most part, but in doing so, this causes Lex to create his own team, a team known as the Infinite Inc., which unfortunately for now, the outsiders don't know are working for Lex Luthor. But I say they will eventually. But also, there are a few characters who play a major role in the second half of Season 3. Halo, for one, discovers more of Gabrielle's memories and learns of a past sin of hers, as it is because of Gabrielle taking a bribe that it is the reason why the king and queen, Terra and Brion's parents, died in the first place. She took a bribe and opened the door for the assassins to kill the king and queen. And at first they didn't really take it well, but they worked things through. However, though, things didn't end there for Halo, as she was being informed by Dr. Helga that she was dying. This caused her to start being reckless and just doing all sorts of random things. But it got to the point where she felt she needed to visit Gabrielle's family and give them the closure they need, and knowing that Gabrielle's gone and everything else that happened. But not only that, we also learn a big thing about Halo, and that is the fact that she is the key to solving the anti-life equation. What do you guys think I mean by that? Well, that's where I'm going to go into Granny Goodness and Cyborg. Well, mostly Granny Goodness. Cyborg I'll get to here in a minute. But Granny Goodness, who seems to have this ability to be in 2 places at once, as we find Granny Goodness out in space on a meteor known as the Orphanage that houses many of kidnapped metahumans due to the metahuman trafficking, some of which who come from Earth. And then you got Gretchen Good, who is on Earth at the same time, while Granny Goodness is on the asteroid Orphanage. However, though, when the team tries to infiltrate her to learn more about her, they learn of a device known as Overlord that has the power to send people to another dimension called the Ghost Dimension, or aka the Pit, as she prefers to call it. And when people are taken out of there, they are under her control, at least temporarily. And it is because of that that Halo and Cyborg eventually showed up to rescue them, and that Granny Goodness not learned, but caught on to Halo's ability to heal and figured out there was more to it. And doing so, Halo was kidnapped by Dr. Helga, along with kidnapping Terra and Brion. And it is here that Halo, along with Brion and Terra, learn of many secrets from Dr. Helga, but also learn from Granny Goodness that Halo's ability to use her purple aura to heal people is the key to the anti-life equation, as it allows her to use that power to make people have anti-life. In other words, no will whatsoever, and are controlled by whoever is in control, such as Granny Goodness. And at first it seemed like things were going to go well, but before she would take her away, she also made Helga reveal that she had been manipulating everyone from Black Lightning to Brion to Terra. She is the reason Brion and Terra got their metahuman abilities, and she kind of saw them as their kids. And she at first saw Halo as her kid, but when she learned of Halo being a mother box, she was disgusted by her and lied to her about her dying so that she could get her away from Brion and Terra. Luckily, though, Terra, who had gotten an anti-control device from Deathstroke, was able to escape with Brion, but weren't able to help Halo. Now, having said that, though, yes, Halo was kidnapped and sent to the orphanage, but going back a little bit, we also run into Cyborg, who in this season at first it's just moping around, but eventually gets to the point where the father box that possesses him and made him cyborg is slowly taking over his body and permanently gonna become a father box. But with information from someone from New Genesis, they learned they need to find Metron and the Mobius chair so they could use the Mobius chair to cure him, which they do. And in doing so, Cyborg eventually decides to stop moping around and take on the new identity of Cyborg and start discovering how to use his abilities. And if you guys know him, you know how his cybernetics works and how he can intercept many things through social media and all that stuff. And it turns out that is useful later on, because when the team is trying to find Halo, they aren't having good luck with finding the whereabouts of her until Vandal Savage shows up and gives them the exact coordinates of where she is. That being the Orphanage comet, where a machine is used to help her better use the widespread of the anti-life equation, along with Halo, to gain control of people, such as the Justice League, who at first learn of the orphanage at the beginning of the first scene of part 2 of season 3. And at first, their first attack fails, but then they come back with more reinforcements. But still, with Halo using her purple aura, gains control over them. And afterwards, the Young Justice team immediately makes their way there to try to help rescue Halo, but end up getting caught by the Justice League, who are under Granny Goodness's control. And eventually, this also gets the Young Justice team under their control. And it is during this time, while all this is going on, Beast Boy and the Outsiders, who are looking for Gretchen Good and her hideout, eventually fall into the ghost pit themselves, while Gretchen Good takes this personal time to settle the score with Beast Boy, who continues to get the crap beat out of him, but in the meantime, Cyborg, still learning of his abilities, goes inside the cyber dimension to fight the Overlord machine that Granny Goodness has. And after defeating Kid and destroying a machine that's part of Apocalypse, when Granny Goodness escapes, Cyborg follows them there. And it is there we learn that Granny Goodness and Gretchen Good are one and the same. And the only reason they're like that is due to that machine of the Overlord machine. But once it's been destroyed, she merges back into Granny Goodness. But unfortunately, she is able to escape, but not before Cyborg is able to free Halo, who in turn, Halo uses all of her aura color abilities to help free everyone else and save most of the Justice League and everyone who was trapped within the orphanage comment. And you would all think that means this is a big victory for the Justice League. It kind of is, but at the same time kind of isn't. But before we go into that, I also need to talk about the fact you guys know of the anti-light of Batman, along with other teams working together in secret and not telling many of the people on what's going on. Well, eventually that is exposed by Black Lightning, who and most of the people in the team who didn't know of this secret don't take it so well, but they're all eventually able to move on from it for a bit to focus on other things, such as in the fact on how like the Light decides to make their next move by making a mission to Markovia by breaking Bedlam, the villain of the first 3 episodes in season 3, break him out of prison, and he retakes the throne that was under the crown of Brion's brother, who was away in the United States, to let his sister and brother know there's a chance they can now go back to Markovia. But once learning of Bedlam's escape, the Young Justice teams head there to stop him once and for all. This is where Tara's double agent goes into the real mode of where she has to make a choice of publicly executing Beast Boy or choosing not to. And it is here that it is revealed that Artemis and most of the older members of the Young Justice team knew that Tara was a double agent all along, and they were just trying to show her the difference from the heroes to the villains so she could make the right choice. And she ended up making the choice of not killing Beast Boy and choosing the heroes over the Light. However, though, Brion didn't like hearing that she had been a double agent all this time, and after recapturing his uncle, he murders him. And in doing so, this causes him to break ties with the Young Justice team, also break up with Halo. But in doing so, he gets the support of the citizens of his country, that he ends up becoming king of Markovia. And since he's right now on bad terms with the Young Justice team, he's no longer part of the team. He allows them to leave, but to never come back. And in doing so, the Infinity Inc. are now working under Brion Markov, in other words, Markovia. But with this, along with other stuff, new changes is revealed to us at the end of season 3. First off, during that mission, Black Lightning and Cyborg were able to use Cyborg's ability to finally get evidence on Lex Luthor and who he really is to the public. And it only hit the nail harder more when Superboy decided to finally, once and for all, reveal his origin to the public, which finally convinced people in the UN to remove Lex Luthor from the secretary position, and the position now belonged to Donna Troya, which in doing so now frees out the leash on the Justice League. Public opinion is back on their side. And with all that done, they now feel that they could all be in the light more. And in doing so, they decide that since they could now do that, and since after everything that happened, they felt Black Lightning is the best one to be the new leader of the Justice League, which he did accept, with making sure rules stay that there's no secrets among them and that the ends won't justify the means. But don't think that means the Light didn't go away with victory either, because despite the fact that Granny Goodness somewhat betrayed them, Darkseid punished Granny Goodness for messing up the partnership with the Light, and in doing so, the partnership of the Light also now has a new member, that being a guy named Zibid or whatever his name is. Basically, he has metahuman powers that allows people to give in to their worst impulses, and that explains how Brion Markov murdered his uncle and is now king of Markovia. Thanks to that guy being near him, he makes him give in to his worst impulses. And that pretty much right there, guys, is the major things that happen in season 3, at least part 2 of season 3. If I'm to say which part did I like more, I will go with part 1 over season 2, because season part two of season three, there was kind of a mix of bag of things going on that my head was kind of like all over the place. I mean, I understood the whole thing with Beast Boy part, the Halo and everything else part. I guess what I'm saying is the last three episodes kind of got me in a confusing spot. But nevertheless, season three wasn't bad. It was pretty good there. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to mention. The last scene that shows all the heroes at a diner having a party, you have one person pouring a cup of coffee, and it shows that they have a ring of the Legion of Superheroes, which are, as you already seen in the episodes 1 and 2, are already making their move, but in secret right now. But either way, guys, I am glad that we got season 4 out, and I can't wait to see what this is all leading to. But until then, guys, I like to know what you guys thought of it, and are you excited for season 3? Let me know in the comment sections down below. And until then, if you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!